going top. 1-1 going pop. Getting hot, hot, hot. In the paint, never flop. At the rim like who? Get the crown like Braun. Yeah, make it some and I'm spending some. What's the plan? Bet I get it done. It's me, yeah, nigga.
Notoriety Sports Network. Built different.
What's good, boys?
What's up?
What up, dude?
How y'all doing today on y'all's Friday?
I ain't gonna lie, I could use a nap.
Yeah, post-show nap.
It's funny because it's Labor Day weekend, but I feel lazy, man. I feel like I want to nap. I want to just relax.
That's because it rained here.
Yeah. How's the weather over there, James?
Oh, we got some rain too. We don't get much rain in Utah, but got a little bit. Nice change of pace. So yeah, maybe that's why I'm sleepy.
That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
Oh man, let's see. We got Holly.
I think I could forego a nap though to talk some hoops.
I could talk. I know us three could talk some NBA pretty much all day. Dan's in the building. Welcome, Dan. Boy Dylan's in the building. Welcome, Dylan. Boy Calvin's in the building. Welcome, welcome. Dan says it's raining up in Maine. All right, man. We're going today. As y'all know, it's kind of been quiet. I mean, you had some breaking news. I think was LaMarcus Aldridge is back, signed with the Nets 1 year. There was a trade with Boston. There was DeAndre Jordan got traded to Detroit. Then he got bought out, and he's going to the Lakers. I mean, there's no surprise. The Marvel NBA Civil War of Nets and Lakers look like it's shaping up right. But we're not talking about them today. We're going to be talking about the Central Division, which give all props to Milwaukee. You got Chicago, the Pacers, the Pistons, and the Cavaliers. I mean, honestly,
if you're going to give, just real quick, if you're going to give Milwaukee props, Nick, do you want to give props to the person who called that championship win like way before the playoffs started?
Look, I was hoping Chris Paul would have won a title, okay? That's all. I'm sticking with it. Hey. But congratulations, Zach, for telling me that Milwaukee was going to win. You were right.
I've been saying it for years, but it's not much of a prediction as a fan. Just Bucks and 6, the lifestyle.
Oh, no, they're not going to win another one. I hate to tell you that.
Well, maybe not this year, but down the road.
Once they blow that team up.
They need to get Giannis some help.
Start with the Bucks. What you got, James? What you think?
Start from the top. I mean,
start with the Bucks, the champs.
Start with the champs. First. Yeah, it's got to start there. What's funny about this division is the last 20 years, ever since LeBron was drafted, there were those Pistons-Cavs battles. But after that, it's been a pretty top-heavy division with Cleveland being up top for a while now, and then the Bulls for a little bit. Now the Bucks seem to have a grasp on it, but the bottom's getting tougher. So for the Bucks, they're just got to keep improving it. And it really comes down to Giannis. And I think now that he's won the chip, he doesn't have as much pressure. People hopefully will stop pointing out his weaknesses so much. He can just play a little bit more relaxed, not complacent, because he can never do that. He goes hard every game, but I really think he's going to be able to play with more confidence because there's going to be fewer haters bringing down all of his flaws.
No, I agree with that, but I don't think you'll ever hear anybody dog Giannis ever again. It's the everybody else.
Yeah, I think Middleton.
Let's just be honest. Like Brooke, Middleton, Holiday. Like I don't think that they have that in them anymore. I don't know if you could ask them to pull that out to win a championship. And let's just be real. They bailed Giannis out in a bunch of games.
Yeah, I think Middleton showed up that he could be a second best player in a title team. Holiday is getting up there in age, and his offense was inconsistent, but he basically, you could argue, won them a couple of those finals games just with his defense alone. So his defense with Chris's offense, with Giannis's do everything. I think the core of those three and their skill sets will make them contenders for the next few seasons.
Well, to that, I think that for one, it'll help them that they're going to get DiVincenzo back.
Mm-hmm.
but I think it hurt them. They lost PJ.
Yeah, that was dumb. I don't know why they didn't go into the tax for him. Then they got
I think what their theory was, and I don't think PJ gave him real time to try to do anything because he signed with Miami quick. Is they figured Torrey Craig's still on that team, and I think they're hoping that he can do something like. No, Torrey went to the Suns, didn't he?
Yeah, they traded him midseason.
So y'all don't have a 3-and-D player like that anymore, aside from Middleton. Unless you bank on Connaughton.
Connaughton, I used to be a Connaughton hater, but he showed up in the playoffs this last year. Grayson Allen, even though everyone hates him, he at least brings the 3. I don't know about the D. A lot of Bucks fans, myself included, are really high on Jordan Nwora. He's a second-year guy of Louisville. He was killing it in his per 36 when he played. Bud just didn't play him much. So there's he had a great summer league too. He still might be a little too raw to become that kind of 3-and-D guy, but I think there's potential there. But I mean, you're right. But by getting rid of PJ, one thing it could do is also open up the offense more because he didn't provide anything on the offensive end besides an occasional corner 3 and occasionally back someone down. But so yes, they lose that grit. They lose the KD one-on-one stopper, if you will. But so yeah, that was tough. But I think overall they're going to be just as good with Dante coming back.
And plus, hopefully Bobby Portis plays the same. I want to see him play more Bobby Portis and Brook Lopez together.
Yeah, go big.
All I'm saying.
Not only that, I mean that is when they really did play together, they look good together because they're not the same. And that who in the East can match up with that?
Yeah.
I'm going to agree with Calvin right here. He says you don't think there's more haters now that he want to chip because KD's shoe is too big.
Nope.
Milwaukee, enjoy that championship.
Every title kick him down.
They're not getting it again. They're not unless everybody in Brooklyn gets hurt and is and I mean the Lakers are already in a retirement home. But if everybody on the East, if the Nets are hurt, maybe they get it. I don't like them letting PJ go. I just feel that now you're kind of going with what you already had. I mean,
because not only did you let PJ leave, is you're probably going to have to play him, and he knows what you're about.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think Giannis cemented himself as the best all-around player in the world right now. KD's the best offensive player right now. But all around, I think Giannis put himself at least in the discussion of top 2. But when you have even if you have a top 2, even if you want to put him at 3rd, which is crazy, having a top 3 best all-around player in the world, I think you're always going to be a contender as long as you have a reasonable cast around you, which they do.
Hey, you know what else we didn't think of? Is Giannis's brothers on that team. And he played hell of a good defense when he got time. And so I hope they figure out how to use that.
He's not a 3-and-D, but he's a energy.
No, he's not going to shoot, but
yeah.
That's still that kind of player where you could burn his legs in the regular season to save Middleton or somebody from guarding somebody else. And shit, that's just as important.
Yeah, I think you can't sleep on him. I'd be a little surprised if they repeated because repeating is obviously not the easiest thing. And not to talk about the Nets in a Central Division show, but I mean they got to stay healthy. They still haven't proved that those 3 can stay healthy for a whole season, and you can't take that away from anyone else if their team can't stay on the court.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Milwaukee, like I'm gonna give them all the respect you want it. I mean, it ain't easy winning a championship. We've seen players like Charles Barkley and get there and not be able to make it. I mean, you've seen Allen Iverson don't have one, T-Mac don't have one. So I give the respect to them, but also I just feel it's like you've had teams like the Suns that got better. You have teams that wanted to get better, and I get it. Like one thing I would always give Golden State was even when they won, they would try to get another piece to add on and all that stuff because they knew everybody else is now trying to go after you. And I just feel there was there was just content of, okay, we got it. Let's stick with this and let's add a little piece. And I mean, you lost
the difference is, and it's not a knock on Golden State, is that's a true system. That's system basketball.
Oh yeah.
So you just building around what we do as a whole. Milwaukee it took them forever to win because they're building around a player. That's different.
Yeah.
Well, Bud has a system in the regular season, but it goes out the window in the playoffs. Some of those, especially early round playoff games, were ugly on offense. They weren't running anything. It was just Middleton backing down mid range or Giannis trying to work in transition. But yeah, and Bud was on the hot seat. If they lose to Brooklyn, I think he gets fired. So it's crazy how to the comment how it's also a game of inches. If KD hits that 3 and it's not a 2 and the Bucks lose, I think they fire Coach Bud, and I don't know who they would have hired to replace him, but now you would think Bud has at least 2 or 3 years of security.
Yeah. I mean, you have, Middleton and you have Giannis. I think those two, I wasn't a Middleton fan. He proved me wrong during that Suns series. I give it to him. I got to give respect. But I think, like y'all did say, Drew Holiday is getting up there. Like, there's going to be a point where I feel like if you're not getting it now, you need to get somebody like during that peak time right before trade deadline ends or people start getting dropped. Like, you got to start getting it now. And I mean,
I think that for what Holiday don't give you, it'll be easy for you to find a point guard to play backup on that. Like, I wouldn't worry about that point guard spot on that team because, like you said, trade deadline, it's not beyond belief that you can go steal a player like a Chris Dunn, Markelle Fultz, or somebody like that. And we'll just work because that forever will be a change in position because you're always going to compete with the top guys. So if you're not a top guy point guard in the league, then they're going to change you up anyway. And I think the guards know that. Yeah,
I just feel it's their management is content with, we won a title now, like let's run it back. And that's the thing. I hate when teams like.
But you have to do that. I mean, people deserve their spot. If you earned your spot, you stay.
Look, I'm running a business here. If you ain't pulling your weight, you get in the boot. PJ, I love you, bro, but you old, bro.
There was games where, like James said, they couldn't score. So Bud reached on that bench in the playoffs when you don't really do that in the playoffs.
No, I know. Trust me, we had Mike D'Antoni here. He would only play like 7 dudes, bro. I know that. I'd be like, what the hell are you signing players for to sit on the bench for it? I know it, but I'm just saying I have trust in Bud because he's gonna do those. He can do those tinkerings during the game. I feel now that you need to for your team, but I just feel like I said it's one of those things where I mean you didn't try to get anybody during free agency, like. You just were like, y'all want to leave by whatever.
I mean, it's not like they had a ton of cap, but
yeah.
I don't have trust in Bud. I have trust in Giannis. Like, if he didn't prove, like, at the very least, I'm gonna try to go get it. I don't know what else you could say about the dude. 50 points in a closeout game. Like he's seen the goal, the finish line. He's like, I'll be damned if you beat me there.
I mean, yeah, he took over against them.
And his biggest weakness, free throw shooting. He hit 17 of 18.
Yeah,
lights on the brightest. I mean, yeah,
that was his weakness, and he figured it out. I mean, let's see. Dylan says, so you just agree that the Pacers will win the division. 100% agreed. Smart man. I don't have the Pacers win that division.
Let's talk about that. Who's second place behind the Bucks?
Oh man, I got Chicago.
I can't do Chicago. The thing about Chicago is on paper they look really good, but I question whether they'll play defense.
So you're telling me you got Cleveland?
No, I got Indy second.
I ain't got time for this.
Oh,
I don't got time for
this. I feel like the next 3 teams, I think Cleveland's closer than they have been to being a third or second in the division. But they're just too raw and too young. So it really comes down to...
It's just like I told Nick the other day. If Cleveland can leverage Kevin Love into a couple good bench players...
Where's that pick at? Hold on.
Then they'll be a borderline playoff team.
What? This is what y'all are hyping up Cleveland. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dudes that are like 6'11" almost. Like, Jared Allen, They just traded for what's his name from Chicago, the Laurie
Markkinen.
Markkinen, yeah. Evan Mobley, Kevin Love, Taco Fall. They just signed. I mean, you got Dean Wade. You got. It's like, what are you doing? You're just gonna out rebound everybody or what? Like,
Maybe,
bro. Like,
build something. Build some.
You got all these dudes, bro. Like,
but you also got to think about it, bro. You can't really hate on them what they're doing because no matter what, Cleveland's not winning a ring this year. But guess what? Now I got three big men on extended deals that are 23 years old or younger. That will be something in 3 or 4 years.
Who?
Jared Allen. He just signed a 5-year deal.
No, I agree.
Marketing 24. He just got a deal, and you drafted Mobley. So 3 or 4 years down the line, you could be saying, "Damn, how do we stop Cleveland's bigs?"
And
so then, why'd you sign Taco Fall to a contract? Why? Like, it's not even a 2-way contract. It's not a. You signed him to a full contract. Like, what's the point?
Why do I draft him on 2K? It's because it's fun, bro. That's why.
So you ain't making the news with your rookies or with these guys. So let me make the news for having 10 centers. All right.
Have you been to Cleveland? There's not much fun.
That's what I hear. I mean, that's what I hear. It's
nice people, smells bad, really cold. But I mean, this is I think to me this is the most exciting non-LeBron Cavs team this century. Which isn't saying a ton. I mean, there was that one year with rookie Kyrie.
Yeah.
But even that was a shallow team outside. Oh, him and Dion, that was actually fun. But yeah,
talking about a bust. I thought Dion was going to be really good.
Yeah, for real.
And then plus, bro, you got to think about it. Is Colin Sexton averaged 24 last year?
But they shopping him, so what does it matter? Like,
yeah, and Garland's good too. That's why it's weird about shopping.
The
Sexton.
problem with it is Garland needs. I think if Garland learned how to play off the ball more mobile, like a Klay Thompson kind of guy, it would help that team. And then 3 is they brought in Ricky Rubio.
They're not. Yeah.
I didn't. I don't know. I'm glad they got Mobley though. I mean,
I honestly would like to see that team do something like weird, like go get Kyle Kuzma to play the small forward.
I just saw they're a sleeper for Ben Simmons.
Cleveland?
Yeah. Dark horse.
Shoot. I'm sure Dan will be happy about that, but he's focused on Lillard over here.
They would have 0 shooting though.
Yeah, they would have 0 shooting. Marketing would be
they
the
got
best shooter.
10 centers. They're gonna have 0 shooting anyway.
Dylan might hate this, but I wouldn't be shocked if they finished above Indiana. Something about Indiana just scares me. Brogdon gets hurt a lot.
I'm gonna tell you what scares you is if you watch basketball and you know what's going on. Miles Turner and Sabonis, they don't play good together.
Terrible.
That's why if you want to say something to piss Dylan off, it's this. Sabonis is getting traded this year, bro. He will not finish the season as an Indiana Pacer.
I think you do trade him though. You got so much value for him, and to me, Sabonis is kind of like that guy that you like as a basketball player, but you don't want to play with.
But my thing is this is the power forwards in the East was kind of bad while he was on the rise. So I think that we inflated how good he really was. If I'm the Pacers, I'm on the phone with Portland. I said, I'll send you this dude. Send me McCollum and Nurkic.
I mean, I don't know.
Or do you just blow it up? Because what are the Pacers really going for? Are they going for that 4 or 5 seed? Or because is anyone on that roster, do you think, championship top 3 player material?
I think that it's way too early to sleep on LeVert. Like, I think he could be a superstar.
Yeah,
at the very least, he could be a leading scorer on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you got to see what he can bring to your table this year for sure. But it's just, to me, Pacers are always content with being that middle ground, like you said, that 5 and 6 area.
It's not what it is, bro. I'm gonna tell you what the problem with the Pacers is they're so boring to watch because Brogdon is so boring to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Efficient but boring.
Yeah, he's efficient, but very boring. You have that youngest Holiday brother sitting on that bench. Put him on that court and let him run wild. And I think they have another 2-guard named Dozier. I forget what his real name is, but that dude can hoop. It's like you have athletes just wasting on that bench while you watch Brogdon dribble the ball up. Let's run and see what can happen, because that's how LeVert wants to play. You'll get more out of Turner running.
Yeah, I mean, they've been trying to trade Turner for years now. No one wants him.
That's the problem, is Turner's not the one that you should trade, because any big man that you bring into play, Turner will play off of that. Sabonis is not that way.
Yeah, it's too bad. I mean, the Oladipo trade turned out to be so much better than anyone thought at the time, getting Sabonis and Oladipo.
We know they sent him to us. We know how much they benefited. They unloaded that bum on us.
I made sure, though, to post that article of him talking about that he didn't lose money, bro. You lost money, bro. Pacers gave you a bunch of money, even though you're injury prone. You said, nah, you got traded to us, the Rockets. We gave you money, and I was mad about it. And you said, nah, I'm good. You got traded to Miami. Now you on a vet minimum.
Yep.
You played yourself, bro. Hey.
I don't know. I still think that, like, you have to come with your stuff together to beat the Pacers. That's my point, is that I think Cleveland, there'll be a lot of games Cleveland beat themselves.
Yeah, inexperience. No, not much shooting. I mean, they make offensive rebounds.
No bench whatsoever. None.
Calvin.
Hey, I like Jetty off.
Cleveland's the best team in the 50s. He said Dan Gilbert thinks taller means better.
If you put this team in the 50s, they would run it.
I mean, you got to think about it, though. You do need big men now, because, like, what do you do if you have to play 7 games against Philly? They got Embiid and they got Drummond.
Yeah, you throw a lot of bodies at them. Yeah, the big men.
If they're healthy, then you have, like, New York. You got Nerlens Noel and Mitchell Robinson. They're 2 big dudes who protect the rim, so you got to come correct.
Yeah, Bam Adebayo. I mean, most of the better teams have a legit center, and it's become almost undervalued. I mean, even Giannis in your division is not a center, but he's a big, and having a bunch of athletic centers to throw at him definitely doesn't hurt. Yeah, Cleveland just needs some perimeter guys, a 3-and-D guy, and a lot of depth.
Yeah. Would you go try to find anybody and then move Garland to the bench? Like, go find you. Like, would you say, like, oh, I'll trade one of my bigs to Houston for Eric Gordon, start Eric Gordon at the 2, and then put Garland on the bench? Because you have nothing on that bench. Nothing.
I like Garland and I like Sexton, but they don't pair well, just like Turner and Sabonis. So almost you should trade Sexton or Garland for a player that complements the one that you keep.
But that's where Cleveland's going to shoot themselves in the foot, bro, because he said they're shopping Sexton. Sexton's the better player, and he will always be. So why are you trying to keep Garland?
Yeah, who knows what they see in him. But, I mean, would you rather be, for the next 3 seasons, would you rather have Cleveland's core or Indiana?
I'd rather have Detroit's.
Shit, you joking about it, but it might be.
I ain't joking, bro. They got number 1 pick and that Garza kid, man.
I ain't worried about Luka. They got Sadiq Bey. Sadiq Bey is going to be good. Killian Hayes, he's going to be a scorer in this league too. So they got players. They don't have bigs, but they got players.
Yeah,
I'd rather have Cleveland than Detroit.
I just don't trust Cleveland's owner. Like,
oh no,
I look at it from like, oh man, like the city of Cleveland. I mean, after LeBron, they do deserve something nice.
You don't deserve nothing.
They got the Browns. I mean,
hey, Browns are legit. So there you go.
But I don't know. Like,
LeBron took you to the finals 4 years in a row. You deserve absolutely nothing.
I mean, trust me. I know I'm a Rockets fan, bro. I haven't even seen the finals since I was a baby, bro. Like, but
no, I think you're right. I think I'd rather take Cleveland because at least you can say, well, I got a 25-point scorer in Sexton, and who knows what Mobley's gonna do.
Mobley, Markkanen.
I'm going with number 1 pick.
Yeah. So who do we have second then? Oh, Chicago.
I got Indy.
My pick Chicago.
I was knocking Chicago, but I think as a regular season team, I'd put them ahead of Indy, just talent-wise. They're just a little bit deeper than Indy. And Levine, I think, is better than anyone on Indy.
I think
scoring.
I think that Chicago looks good on paper, but I really think it's one of the things that it's like flashing something shiny in front of a baby, because like you got Lonzo Ball, right? And you needed him. But you gave away good players. Like, and you've lost players. Like, you wasted marketing. You wasted what's the big man from Duke that they sent to Orlando?
Wendell Carter.
Yeah.
Wendell Carter Jr. It's like, bro, like he was elite playing defense.
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth the 20 I mean, if he's 10 points, 10 rebounds, but he's shutting down the rim and rebounding for you, is it worth giving up all that for Vucevic's 22 points? To me, it wasn't. Especially considering you drafted Patrick Williams, and dude is a hooper.
I like Williams.
I do too. I think he's the best big man. He'll be the best big man in that division. Even, I mean, not name Giannis, but even over Mobley. Because Patrick Willis, he can hoop. Like, he just goes and gets buckets. He plays the way that you would want all your big men to play.
Yeah. I'm not super high into Rosen anymore as anything moves the needle at all. But I mean, regular season, I think they have what it takes to be a 4 or 5 seed in the East, which right now puts them slightly above Indiana. It's not. I don't think it's by much. It wouldn't shock me, but.
Well, the reason that I can't do that is because, to me, if like we were playing against Chicago, I know exactly how we would play. It's like, you got Lonzo on the court, you got DeRozan on the court, you got a big man who can't shoot on the court. Guess what? Let's just clog the paint. If you make the 3, you beat us. And more times than not, I don't think they'll do that.
I don't know. I want to see Lonzo and Levine. I think Levine has, since he's got out of purgatory in Minnesota, he's been, I mean, people laughed at him when he went to Chicago. They were like, why are you going to Chicago for? Like, there's nothing there. And he's shown like, hey.
I mean, he got traded there. He didn't really have a choice. But
I mean, but it's better than
they signed him to that big contract.
Yeah, they just signed that big contract though. A lot of people were expecting him to leave and stuff. So
to go
where? I don't know, but I mean, bro, like let's be honest. You're in Chicago, you're under Michael Jordan's shadow, and then there's a small shadow of Derrick Rose. And that's who you're under. I mean, it's
but my
hard.
question about Chicago is like, okay, you brought in Lonzo. Not only did you bring in Lonzo, you brought in Alex Caruso. By doing that, you telling Kobe White, you ain't shit and we don't need you.
Hey, bro.
Hey, 6-man, though. He could be a good 6-man, comes in.
But that's what Caruso's going to do. Caruso's going to be your 6. I mean, but no matter what his position is, by doing that, you're basically telling Kobe White, we don't want you.
Yeah, I don't
Makes
know.
them deeper. I think they're deeper than Indy or Cleveland or
Detroit. It reminds me when the Rockets had Lou Williams and Eric Gordon that one year.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I mean, Mike D'Antoni didn't know what to do with them, but I'm just saying, like, maybe somebody would know what to do with them. Like, especially the way that it just feels the league's going with that fast pace, shooting up and I mean, if you can't, like Milwaukee, like y'all said earlier, there was games where they struggled to make a shot. I looked like I was watching like a 1980s like game where you're just throwing the ball around, Harlem Globetrotters just not wanting to score for a whole minute. Like,
I don't think that you'll have that problem with the Bulls, though. I just think that I don't know if they'll play defense good enough.
Yeah, their D is going to be bad. I didn't. What's funny is I didn't really like the moves as a whole. I like the Lonzo move. I think Lonzo's a little bit better than people think. But I didn't really like the DeRozan move. I don't
Me neither.
think Vucevic is a great fit. But all that aside, I don't like Caruso that much. But all that aside, it is what it is. They have a bunch of these parts, and I think these parts are good enough in the East to be a middling playoff team, which isn't really a compliment, but
I don't think Chicago. I don't know. I'm not quite sure they make the playoffs.
Oh,
what?
Oh,
I'm really not sure about that.
So would you be surprised if Cleveland finished higher than Chicago?
I would.
Yeah. So you have them, so not even the play-in. So you have them as the
no. They might be a playing team, top 10, but to put them with I just think like the first 4 or 5 are locks to me, and then it's kind of blah after that. Because let's just keep it real. If it comes down to the end of the season and a team needs to go on a run, do you have more faith in Chicago as they are, or like Charlotte? I want Charlotte because I know they're going to generate buckets off defense, and that wins games.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. All right, then who would you have outside of Giannis? Who do you think the best player in the division is?
Outside of Giannis, the best player in the division would probably be only because he hasn't had no time. I'm not going to say Cade. So I'm going to go with Zach LaVine.
I'll take Middleton. I'm sorry, but I was trying to go through the names. And
I either was thinking not Middleton, LaVine, maybe Sabonis.
Yeah, when you think about it like that, it's kind of sad. There really isn't there's no star in this division besides Giannis. I mean, LaVine's getting there, but he would have to take one more leap to get into legit star level status.
I mean, you kind of saw it though during the USA games. He kind of put the team until Devin Booker and Middleton and Drew got there, and Durant just went bananas. But he was on some of those games where he's like, "Don't worry, guys, I got it." I always feel like anybody that ends up in those certain teams, Minnesota, Sacramento. I don't want to harp on them, but there's certain spots you end up and you're just like, I'm wasting my life here, like.
But that's not true. It's not necessarily true because, like, you benefit from that particular opportunity.
How?
Because, like, think about it. If you ask LaVine to be a real basketball player and say, "Hey, go play on San Antonio," and still average 27 points, he couldn't do it. Like he wouldn't thrive in structure like that because he don't have he's more of an athlete than a hooper,
bro. Minnesota don't got no structure, bro. They haven't been good since Kevin Love and Garnett were over there. And I don't even consider Kevin Love.
What I'm saying is he went to a even worse Chicago team and he got all the shots in the world that he wanted. That's why he looked so good.
I mean, but you made Team USA, bro. Greg Popovich picked you to be on your team. There's something there.
No, yeah, I agree. Well, you're all-star, bro. But what James said is like Middleton kind of took over games in the finals.
No, that's what I have Middleton over LaVine. I'm not. If I had to start a team up, I'm picking Middleton. He does more for my team than LaVine does. I agree. I feel LaVine is that athlete player that he's a rich man's Gerald Green is the way I see him in my eyes. Like, he gives me scoring. He can dunk. And he does nice dunks and all that stuff. But I mean, now he's an all-star. Gerald Green is just a player. Milwaukee is running this division anyway. So
to me, Zach LaVine is like a very, very disciplined version of J.R. Smith. It's like if this dude gets hot, he'll go for 50. If not, then he's still going to shoot a bunch of times and give me 25.
I think he's a little more well-rounded. I'm trying to think who I'd pick between Sabonis and LaVine. I think I would take Sabonis.
Where would y'all put Cade at in this?
It's nowhere. You haven't played a game.
You wouldn't put him in the top 5 of the division?
Hell no.
Okay. I mean, I'm not either. I'm just saying people will be like, "Oh, he's number 1 pick. He's gonna blow up."
You can't make any of those until we see him in real NBA action. Same for Evan Mobley.
I'm not putting none of them rookies up there. But I just feel like, I mean, the division, we're over here struggling to figure out who would do good in this division. I mean, Karis LeVert, I think he's gonna be really good.
That's the dude that I've been thinking about. I was like, LeVert has the most upside in the whole division to me.
Yeah.
Aside from Cade.
Yeah. I think Mobley's going to take a while. And I mean, most big men take a while in the league.
I think he'll take a couple years, but he's going to get it right because he's in the optimal spot.
The top 3 picks, I feel, ended up in the right spots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Cade went to Detroit. I liked it.
Because think about like a big man like what's the guy Aiton from Phoenix? Like he got thrown onto a really crappy team and he was the only big, so he had to figure it out. At least with Jared Allen, Taco Falls, Laurie Markkinen, and the 17 other centers on that team, he's protected, you know.
Maybe that's why they got Rubio. Is Chris Paul? I'm not saying Chris Paul and Rubio are anywhere on the same level, but having a veteran point guard does a lot for a big man in terms of finding his place in the league, finding where he's supposed to go. And Rubio's smart. He's always had great court vision. So thinking about it that way, it actually might be a good idea, because if all they had were these young guards who didn't really know the game as well, that might have been bad for Mobley's development. But I think Rubio being there could go a long way in just learning the game.
And I agree with that. Like if you had to come into go to practice every day coming into the league, and it's like, damn, I got to train pick and roll every day this week, Rubio's a good dude to do it with.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I want to see Cade though. I want to see, like Nick was saying, he wanted to see Cade go one-on-one with Jalen Green, but I can't wait to see Cade play Boston. Like that's the team I want to see him play. I don't know why he reminds me of Tatum so much.
It's going to be fun just to have someone to watch on Detroit. For years when the Bucks, I watched a lot of the Bucks games. When they played Detroit, I was like, oh, God, here we go. It was like Andre Drummond's going to get 20 rebounds and the Bucks will win by 15. But now it's what's nice about this division, even though it's, as we've talked about, very top-heavy, there's some exciting guys to watch. Like, I want to see Cade. I want to see Mobley. In Indiana, I want to see LeVert, Sabonis. So, and then Chicago has all those names too. So,
but isn't it kind of fun to see also, like, because we kind of anticipate Indy getting blown up? And ain't that kind of fun to you also? I look forward to it. It's like, oh, what are they going to get for Turner? What are they going to get for Brogdon? Or what move will they make?
Yeah. So, of all the teams, who do you think is the most likely to make a big trade? Indiana?
Indiana.
Yeah.
Well, you can't really. I mean, you're fresh with Chicago and Cleveland.
Yeah, Milwaukee doesn't have many moves to make.
And it's obvious Detroit's building around Cade, so they still seeing what they got, so it has to be Indy.
I don't think any of them have a package to get one of the premier, like if Bradley Beal's available, Lillard.
Oh, yeah. No, that's the thing. Is Indy's the one team that doesn't.
It's weird. Indy's the team that doesn't and needs it to compete in that conference. I just feel you've put all your eggs in some baskets that are questionable, and I mean, like you said earlier, that Sabonis is kind of hit at that peak, and now he's kind of. So
but,
do you hold him?
Or start if you're Indy, right? And you're like, okay, damn, I got to play Giannis a bunch of times. He's in my division. We don't know what Chicago's going to do, but Cleveland and Detroit are on the rise. They both think they got a superstar, and we don't have nothing young. Do you go the OKC Boston route and say, all right, now let's just trade everybody for picks right now while we have them, and start blowing that team up that way and not really worry about bringing in a superstar?
I feel with the Pacers.
Yeah, like if you went the OKC route and it's like, okay, we just need to accumulate as many picks as we can get right now.
I think it comes down to what we said, Karis LeVert. What is he? Is he take a step forward? Because if he becomes the player he was balling out like in Brooklyn, I honestly think that he changes a lot of stuff up for you.
But that's why I feel like you have to change that team, is because Karis LeVert doesn't play slow, and that team is slow. And, so let's find out why we're slow. It's Sabonis and Brogdon. Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. But then that's why I feel like you go and trade Sabonis and get what you can to pair with a LeVert. And then, I mean, Brogdon, he's one of the slowest in the league. That boy will walk up the court like if he has like a bad hip and everything. But
you can get something good for him though, because he can shoot so well.
Yeah. Somebody will take a chance on him.
For him. But it's like he said, it's like what is LeVert gonna do so we'll know what we need to bring in? Like to me, I would be trying to bring. I just don't think Miles Turner's a problem. I'd be looking for those good wing players, like a player I would be trying to steal off that team, and I'd be willing to give up Brogdon or probably Sabonis wouldn't be a good fit. But like, Michael Porter Jr. from Denver. Like that would be the kind of dude that I would be trying to put on that team to help us go because he would play good with LeVert, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're going to have to be honest with themselves how much they value LeVert and how much they think he can become. If they think he can be Paul George, then, yeah, keep him, make some trades, build the team around him. But if they don't really think he's going to be that next level guy, then I think blow it up. Because if you're the 6th and 7th seed in the East and that's your ceiling, it doesn't get very exciting. But, I mean, the Pacers – they've done it before when those Paul George teams were fun when they were fighting against the Big Three in Miami. So they're not that far away from having at least somewhat contender and great fan base gets rocking when they're in the playoffs. So I mean, there's value to making the playoffs, but yeah, no one wants to watch this slow pace Brogdon pick and roll.
You can have one slow person on your team, but you can't have two.
They remind me of the old Memphis Grizzlies. I hated watching them when they had Zebo and Tony Allen and all that. Like,
but at least they had an identity.
Well, they did have an identity, but it wasn't I didn't mind that because Zebo and Gasol knew how to play off of each other. They played really good high-low big man basketball, and I don't think that Indy figured that out yet. And that's what they're trying to do. So you have to bail on that plane because you're wasting your guards.
I don't know.
Would you trade? I would if I was Indy. I would call Minnesota and be like, "Hey, you want Sabonis and Turner, and you send me Big Cat, and then you have." Brogdon, LeVert, and Big Cat in the East.
I mean, you need to do something. It's like, to me, it's just there's teams that are content with being, like James has said, that making it to the playoffs. And it's like, dude, what does that do? Your ticket sales, I get it, but you're not even throwing, like, at least Chicago threw a bunch of stuff on the wall and they're hoping it sticks. Like, yeah. They're like, oh, well, we got Lonzo, we got over here, we signed everybody we can. I mean, the thing is, you kind of you're stuck with, you don't want to give up on Sabonis, and you still have your other center, Miles Turner. But it's like, dude, we all know around the league, one of them needs to go. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, because if they come in and play the season and then one of them sucks or one of them gets hurt, you ain't got no value now. It's all gone. It's completely gone.
I think that you're more likely to salvage what they have going by trading Brogdon, though. I really do. Because Indy tries to use Sabonis like the Joker. The problem is the guards that play on Indy are so much lazier than the guards on the Nuggets. So you don't see Brogdon coming off of a handoff at the top of the key like all the guards in Denver do. And I think that would be the difference. But by that logic, it's like, who do you go get to do that for you?
Yeah, and they almost don't have much value anymore because of how long they've been available, and no one's been biting on them. It's tough. Indiana's in a tough spot. I think they're kind of close to Chicago in terms of long-term contention and short-term. They both have talent, but neither of them have a superstar, and neither seem to be close to getting one. That's what, like, Detroit and Cleveland, like, you might have a superstar, way too early to tell, but in Cade and Mobley. But I feel like we've neglected Detroit a little bit. They're going to be fun with Grant, Cunningham, Sadiq Bey.
Like, Killian Hayes. Like, they have a lot of good young dudes. Like, it reminds me of, like, OKC when they were on the come-up. Not to say that they'll be the same, but you got Bey, Hayes, Cade. So they're going to come out running. And I'm going to tell you what the problem is going to be for Detroit is Kelly Olynyk. Is he always finds a way to get in the way. And it's going to be a problem for him.
Do you think they're more likely to make as a 10 seed or Cleveland?
No, I don't even think they'll get close. If we think that Cleveland will shoot themselves in the foot a bunch of times, then Detroit's going to shoot their whole leg off.
What, you have Cleveland over Detroit?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I got Detroit sniffing the bottom of the league with OKC and maybe Sacramento and Houston.
Yeah, so I got Bucks, Chicago, Indy, Cleveland. Detroit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got Bucks, Indy, Chicago, Cleveland, Detroit. Yeah, same.
I wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland made a little noise early. I could see them being one of those like 8-2 teams, and then they fall apart. Or like they're going to go on a run. I think they'll put it together for stretches, but
I think that'll be the team to have the hardest time to go on a run, though, because they don't have no shooters on that team.
I mean, you got Grant over there. He ain't a scrub. Jeremy Grant. That boy ain't a scrub. He can shoot. I ain't saying I'm not saying he's gonna take over a game or nothing, but I mean, Luka Garza, that boy showed up in the summer league, bro. He was right up there.
You're talking about Detroit. I'm talking about Cleveland.
No. I don't care about. I told you I don't even have Cleveland. Cleveland's at the bottom of the barrel for me with their 10 centers, bro. Who they go?
Jeremy Grant. That'll be a player that gets traded out of that division.
I just feel that there's gonna be times where I feel Detroit will. I mean, who do you have against each other? Cleveland and Detroit. Who do you have winning those games?
Cleveland.
I got time for you.
They're entirely too big, bro. You won't rebound. You won't get a shot at the rim.
Mobley, Allen, Markkanen, and then
we're gonna see. We're gonna touch base on this for sure when the season starts. Dude.
I'm telling you, the player that's like Cade is gonna be Cade. I think he's gonna do good for a long ass time. But Sadiq Bey is gonna sneak up and be that guy. Watch for Detroit.
We'll do a live broadcast during all the Cavs Pistons games.
Yeah,
no one will watch, but we'll have fun.
They'll be in the group chat and be like, "Nick, told you."
Anyone else watching this Cavs Pistons game in February?
Yeah. Look, Detroit smacking Cleveland, man. Cade gonna take over. What's Evan Mobley? Evan Mobley gonna be on that bench doing this. He gonna have that. Okay. Yeah, he gonna be like this because Cade out there playing and he's just sitting on the bench behind Jared Allen, Taco Falls, and whoever else they sign in next. Because you don't know who they're gonna sign now.
Yeah, but y'all sleeping on the fact that Colin Sexton is a professional basketball
player. Traded.
No, not
traded.
Somebody. Jared Allen is the best center in that division.
No, I agree with Jared Allen. I like Jared Allen, but Cleveland, you have, bro. They literally gave away Kevin Porter Jr. to the Rockets, and then they're over here shopping their best player outside of Evan Mobley now. I mean, what are you doing? Like, you're not winning, so I don't see why you're trading your stuff.
Kevin Porter would have been nice
on that team. Yeah.
He ain't there now. He's on my team.
Yeah, he belongs to us.
50 on the Bucks.
Yep. And he's still rated to 77 on 2K. Ain't that some shit?
Look, exactly. Y'all putting chips on Kevin Love at 48 years old. He gonna get bought out and go join the retirement Lakers.
He already said, he's like, "You're not buying me out. I'm not deviating from the 60 million you owe me, bro. Trade me."
The Clippers. I don't think you ever want to play with LeBron again.
Yeah, I probably would not want to play with LeBron again.
I see him going to Brooklyn to beat LeBron.
I think he's going to go to Miami.
Oh, Miami.
I think he'll go to Miami.
Portland would be good for him.
That'd be the best. If he would have ended up in Portland 2 years ago, it'll be a whole different story.
Lillard needs help over there. They're getting.
Lillard needs they need new owners in Portland, or a new GM. I feel bad for Chauncey.
To me, Lillard, I mean, the Portland Trailblazers remind me of the, what's it called? Like a richer, like Indiana Pacers. They're stuck in that middle ground. And you have some nice pieces, but they're not nice enough. It's like you have like a souped up Honda, but you're going up against the McLarens and the Lamborghinis of the world. So it's not a bad one. I like it, but you ain't catching up to those LA teams and Utah and Denver, and I mean Pacers ain't no way you catching up to Milwaukee right now. And
Portland got the same problem Houston had, and why we didn't ever get to the finals is y'all don't develop nothing. You're trying to pay for everything you need, aside from going to creating that player. That's their problem.
And the only way that works is if you have a LeBron James, Kevin Durant. I mean, I wonder if Giannis ever does that though, where, I mean, you people want to go play with him. Like, I mean,
of course there will be. There'll be a point in time where Middleton gets too old and Holiday gets too old, and then Giannis they'll rebuild that team around Giannis, and then he'll get to the point where he's like, okay, now I just really for real want to play off the ball, and some good ass point guard will come through there, and he'll get his second run at a title later on in his career. You just watch.
It's gonna be Chris Paul at the age of 60. No.
Nah, it'll probably be somebody like a Ja Morant or somebody like that.
Man, Morant. Oh man, Memphis, y'all got a guy. I ain't gonna harp on him because we ain't talking that division. But
Yeah, some of these other divisions are gonna be a lot juicier with the races and like I said, a lot of promise in this division, but yeah, not much else.
I think you got one for sure playoff team and a bunch of other ones.
yeah, I think for sure Milwaukee's up there. I think Chicago and Indiana are gonna compete, and then I think Detroit and Cleveland are just gonna be happy with their new shiny toys.
So we're saying 3 playoff teams.
I don't know. Hold on. Because I mean, you got the playing games now. Which I mean, I get
it. We're counting 9 and 10 as playoff teams, right? Yes or no? I'm not. So
No.
Okay, I'm just counting top 8.
Yeah, me too.
Trying to think.
I think 3.
Really?
Yeah. Well, think big picture. You got Brooklyn, Miami,
Bucks.
Boston, Philly,
New York, Atlanta.
Oh yeah, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Whoa, yeah, the East.
I don't even that, but that's what I'm saying is it may not be 2. It may just be the 1 because if it comes down to it, like you have the Hornets want a spot. Like I think they're gonna compete for a spot.
The Knicks, the Wizards, maybe.
The Wizards are that other team I was thinking about. Like they'll compete for a spot. And straight up on paper, the Wizards are better than Indiana and everybody else not named Milwaukee, in my opinion, from what they got.
You think?
Yeah, so I'd say 3 in the top 10, 2 in the top 8.
I'd say 2 in the top 10.
I have Milwaukee, and then I have Chicago. I think Pacers don't make it, and then the other 2 definitely don't make it. They're going to be floating around 14, 15, fighting for that. Who's the worst on that one?
And we may not want to acknowledge it, but we're kind of sleeping on Toronto. So they may take a spot from somebody.
I don't know.
Like they may not win playoff games, but they know how to get to the playoffs. They got to count for something.
Yeah, I guess they may be a playing team.
Yeah, because there'll be a playing team because you got Van Vliet, Pascal, Scotty Barnes they drafted, so they'll compete.
Yeah, Orlando's not competing.
Hell no.
But yeah, Atlanta's going to be better.
To me, Atlanta should be like, I want that 4th spot. I want that 3rd or 4th spot. I think they're every bit as good as like Boston.
It's just hard to imagine only one central team because the Pacers and Bulls have been in the playoffs. It seems like every year for the last however many years. Hard to imagine them both missing it, but
I think Billy Donovan figures it out in Chicago with them. I
think he's in the problem. I just never liked him.
I don't like him. I don't want him as my coach, but I just feel. I mean, I trust him over what Cleveland, Detroit, and I mean those 2. I trust him over Indiana's coach. Like I said, Indiana has their own internal problems of like. To me, I feel Chicago, you have those problems of like we've said where you have too many players, kind of do the same thing. But I feel like with Indiana, you have too many of the big name guys that just don't fit together at all. And you're just harping on what ifs and hopes and all that. And it's just like, if you would have made a move before, then I would have been like, okay, y'all are trying to do something. But I mean, you're going to just end up wasting Karis LeVert's time there. If you just keep harping on it, like, I don't know.
None of it matters.
You're not beating Milwaukee.
You're not beating Milwaukee.
Yeah, you're not beating Milwaukee, man. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah, none of the teams outside Milwaukee are contending, so.
Bobby.
I love Bobby Buckets.
Yep, me too.
And
he earned that one.
then he stayed on a discount. I love him.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Speaking of discounts, we're gonna give a shout out to our sponsors. They got the cheapest kettle popcorn you could think of. We getting our batches. Y'all go buy some.
Built different.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, me too.
Dinner
No
time.
lie, I want to try the sucker punch. The
Yeah.
dill
I'll punch you in the mouth.
Nah, not that one. I want to try the dill pickle one.
That looked good, and the 1-2 punch too.
I said we're gonna be passing them around to the team for sure. I said we're gonna congratulate our sponsor, man. Join the family. I see Dan goes. Y'all going live every Friday? Yes, sir. We hit some road bumps. James was partying out with the Milwaukee crew. I said I had to get this green screen up and everything.
Hey, did you see Giannis Antetokounmpo at the AEW wrestling thing?
Mhm.
Yes.
How the hell you 7 foot tall in the front row and you want to stand up?
I
Everybody's
know
like,
he
sit
stood
down.
up the whole time.
Yeah.
I would whoever bought the ticket behind him, I would have been cool for like the first 2 minutes and then like, yo, bro, can you sit? Like,
Because even if you stand, you're still not seeing.
yeah. I do give him that though. He's the first person in both companies, AEW and WWE, to hold a title in both brands.
Really?
He's better than The Undertaker. He's better than The Rock. He's better than Stone Cold. Bro, he held the AEW title and the WWE title, bro. Nobody else has done that. He's a
Hold on.
three-time champ, bro.
There you go.
I mean,
I was just thinking of I would hate to be at that show because Giannis was standing there, right? And his big ass brother was standing next to him.
mhm.
So they really blocked out the whole section.
Yeah. There's
You're not
leap
gonna
fight.
tell Giannis to sit down.
No.
The nicest guy in the world.
They were in Milwaukee. There's no way people were telling him anything.
I forgot what wrestler was interacting with him too from inside the ring.
I can't remember.
I don't remember the match. I think it was Dean Ambrose.
Ah, yeah.
Because
Yeah,
remember he
yeah.
pinned I think one of the young bucks and he was like, damn. And Giannis was like, damn.
Yeah. I said he's a fan, man. I want him to have as much fun as he can, man. He deserves it. He took over. I said that was the bread and butter of this Central Division talk that we had. I mean, y'all got anything else to add?
Not in this division.
The Bucks.
Yeah, that's how I feel in this one. Hopefully, Detroit, you outbeat Cleveland. Because if not, I'm going to be in here getting roasted by both of them.
It's gonna happen.
Cavs Nation.
Oh, man. That being said, everybody, if you're watching, we're going live in 2 minutes, the Hall of Fame special. Dallas Cowboys, legends going on there. For that being said, we'll see y'all next Friday. It's always fun, boys.
Yep.